Alright guys, welcome to the finals of this month's MSEM GP. Uh, we also have Asti in the booth,
Mm-hmm.
right?
A rare appearance.
Not that rare, relatively,
Mm-hmm.
but I always like us commentating together because we have good chemistry. But anyways, let's actually talk about what's going on right now. So, Nyx is playing Mono Black Villainy with some new cards from the new set, and Chumbeque is playing Mono White Flash Soldiers with uh, does that does Chumbeque's deck have new cards from the new set?
I do believe so.
Uh,
Um,
oh yeah,
I mean, Alert the Village is technically a new card, I think, but
I think that's their only new card.
the newest card I think is maybe Bioluminescent Display has been around for
Yeah,
a
I
while.
think it's just Alert the Village that's new.
Yeah, which is just raise the alarm, but it doesn't make Soldier, so it's slightly worse for the deck.
Yeah. But anyways, so Nyx opens on turn 1 pay up. As always, you love to turn 1 pay up into turn 2 villain. Oh, did Chumbeque actually not take what was chosen? Okay, so we have turn 2 villainy.
Well, we have Fade,
Let's see if
which is
Nyx well, Nyx knows about the fade, right?
that is true. Yeah, so
Pay up number 2.
hmm I think it's what makes Chumbeck's deck so good.
Yeah.
There's just so much instant speed token creation now. I think bioluminescent display is a lot of what pushed it over the top. I remember when that card
Yeah.
first came out, there was a little discussion around like, is this a little too pushed, maybe? And this is like the perfect deck for it. It is
Yeah.
quite literally everything Chumbeck wants to do. It's disruption. It makes tokens.
I've heard someone say that that card would not be okay in Canon Modern or Legacy.
I think they're exaggerating.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
anything
agree
about
on that.
Canon Modern, but I
I
think
don't know
so.
anything
Yeah.
about Legacy, but it's a very nuts card, definitely.
Chumbeck decides to fade the pay up here.
Huh. Interesting play.
Mm-hmm.
Or, no, they decide to discard the fade off the pay up, you mean?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I guess we're both not paying attention right now.
Nyx decides to leave up Exunt instead of drawing with
Chumbeque
either Unresolved or
draws Pact
Happiness.
of the Moon, which is also a sort of new card because it got printed one set ago, but I don't think it's actually saw that much play until
It's
now.
5 months old. But yeah,
Has it been 5 months
it did
already?
see some play. Yeah,
Wow.
almost 6 now, actually, since it's the
Jeez.
23rd.
I'm starting to lose track of time these days.
Time isn't really real.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Nyx's deck doesn't. Nyx's deck does have Bitter Goodbye, which I've seen a lot of discussion about.
Bitter Goodbye is certainly a card.
It is a card,
Nyx plays Valdez, naming low, and what? This is a bit too late to do that. Unless, I mean, Nyx can rename now if they want. No, they don't. Okay. I'm just going to assume that the players are both shortcutting and doing out of sequence order, and it works out or something.
Yeah, because Nyx is technically supposed to wait for Chumbeque to like say this resolves before calling it. So yeah, they would technically be able to recall there, I think.
And that's a bioluminescent display off the top. But
Yeah,
Nyx already has
Nyx already has Villainy down.
Yeah. How well does Chumbeque deal with the resolved Villainy?
There is a Tarnika's Endeavor in the deck that can exile enchantments, but that's a 4 of, so they have to draw that.
Artifact enchantment removal.
There's a Sacralize and an Assessment of Virtue in the board, but
do the thing correctly. This is why I need to remember to like always /W.
Mm-hmm. But that is the card.
Yeah.
Can exile enchantments and also makes tokens.
Yep, everything, basically everything in Chumbeque's decks makes tokens.
Mm-hmm.
This deck is funny because originally this was like polymorph, but I guess Chumbeque just found that the token aggro plan was good enough without having to run like garnets and a combo E.
Was it originally polymorph? Actually?
Yeah, it was. There was a very similar deck to this that was blue-white polymorph token tempo.
Was that before the polymorph got nerfed to sorcery speed?
I probably actually thinking about it. I'm not sure because I'm not sure because I remember it was after TMI, but I don't remember if that was before or after the polymorph.
Pretty sure that was after the polymorphs got nerfed to sorcery speed.
Let me see.
But anyways, so for what's actually going on in the game, because I don't think we've been talking enough about the game. Asti, can you like please update us about what's happening?
Well, Nyx play to find happiness and misery. Hands getting a little low. Villainy is aimed at the Knight token. In response, Chumbeque, Acrianus's command, gonna make 2 more tokens and give Indestructible in order to survive the Villainy. Blowing up the creatures for this turn. Nyx with the Exut in hand, thinking about whether to use it or not to deal with that Knight right now.
Also,
There is a point that
looking at Golden Company
there's a
Tactics.
which is a
No,
card
it
that
was
creates Knights.
Okay, I found the
So-
deck. It was with when it was after EOW release because of Zaire, so you would buff up your whole board with
Oh yeah, I
uh,
kind of remember that
card,
deck.
and then Animorph was the polymorph that was being used, which is still an instant. It looks
Oh
like.
yeah, right. Huh, I actually kind of remember that deck. It was a pretty cool deck. I think actually Gal came up with it, or at least Gal was running it in League back then. I'm not sure who the actual builder of that deck was.
It also is running retort nonsense, which is fun.
I guess they were just trying out new cards.
I haven't seen that card in a bit.
Yeah, that's why I remember the deck, because it was like right when all those cards were coming out. I was like, oh, it's retort nonsense. Yay!
By the way,
Yeah.
so what has happened so far in the game? Because I've not been paying that much attention because I was looking up the cards.
Not much. Nothing
It
has
was
really
like
changed.
Acriano got cast. Nyx did.
Yes,
Find
we covered
happiness.
that already.
Nyx, let that
Nothing
happen.
changed since I last updated the board state. The only thing is Nyx was looking at Golden Company Tactics, because the way that card works, you put a +1/+1 counter on everything, then you do that if you have a soldier, then you do that if you have a knight, and the only way
So
to make
it's-
knights in the deck is Pact of the Moon, as far as I know. So
Ooh, that's
if
two
you
villainy
exile,
triggers.
turns it off.
That's 2 villainy triggers and an exile that resolves
Or
after the villainy
maybe another
triggers.
way. I'll
I-
take a look.
I think that wipes the board.
I just looked.
Yeah, it's just packed. And yeah, that board is gone and tactics is useless.
So I think Nyx is in the driver's seat right now.
100%. And then they also have that past unresolved to refill after this. Plus Valdez as an additional threat.
Sack the soldier targeted by a villain. Yeah,
No.
this does not
Yeah,
work
yeah,
the way you
Nyx is
want it to work,
calling it.
Chumbeque, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So could Chumbeque have played around that? Like they had bioluminescent display and invalidate, but that doesn't stop the villainy. So I guess like Chumbeque was kind of screwed either ways.
Basically, yeah.
A deck based around
I mean-
1 toughness creatures just can't do anything with a villainy on board, pretty much.
Yeah. Villainy is. Yeah.
I mean, it certainly lives up to its name if you're on the receiving end of it.
True.
No, that's
I
two
think
villainies.
if villainy was printed right now, it would definitely get nerfed.
Actually,
Yeah,
good
probably.
point.
That's my
honestly.
stance. Like, I
Yeah.
think, like, if you compare like Dark Ascension, like it would get turned into Dark Ascension, basically. It's just way
I
too
mean, it
hard
got
for
nerfed
decks to
in
deal with it.
Rev, or reworked rather in Rev.
Yeah.
Enchantment removal is just not prevalent enough. Like, there's not enough colors that can deal with enchantments.
Yeah, I remember when I feel like
There's very goodbye.
there's also just a period where everyone was running enchantment removal after Beyond the Black Wall release, just because that set just made enchantment so much better.
That set was crazy too.
Were
Yeah.
people running that much enchantment removal? I thought people were just.
I was running enchantment removal in every single sideboard.
I feel
for,
like that's what most
a
people
bit.
do. I mean, when I'm building my sideboard, I always just throw in some random enchantment removal because I can't think of what else to add.
One thing that is kind of surprising,
Oh,
I guess,
that's-
is that
Dark Ascension. Nyx is also playing Dark Ascension.
yeah,
Yes, Nyx is. Dark Ascension is a card that I am I don't know how to feel on it because it seems very scary, but I also just haven't seen it get land on a board at all yet. So
it is. I think it's
I don't
just
know.
worse villainy.
it's a 5. It's a 5. Yeah, it being it compared to Villainy makes it seem a lot worse. I feel like if we didn't have Villainy, people would like this card a lot more.
Well, if
I don't
we
know.
didn't have Villainy, I don't
I
think this
think-
deck would exist.
I think Dark Ascension is to villainy what bar hopping M&A is to chaos module.
Unnerved Chaos Module, right?
True. But
Yeah,
where
also
it's
Dark Ascension, to be fair, Dark Ascension if Villainy didn't exist, would be you get to run Soul Weaver as well and a more creature based strategy if you want.
Actually, yeah, fair enough. Because
Since it
Villainy.
triggers on all black spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Well, the game's over.
Also
Nick's
then you're
got two
board
villainies.
wiping yourself. So
Nick's got 2 villainies down, and just
Okay.
beat Chumbeque.
Double Villainy is just like game over. Not much you can do about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
let
there
me
really
bring
isn't.
up the
I don't think there's really any other card where it's like if you have two of them on board, your opponent just loses.
I feel like there's infinite combos that do that.
Two of the same
Two
card.
of one card.
So Chumbeque sideboard, you're probably bringing in Assessment of Virtue,
Yeah.
Serialized.
maybe
And
Sacralize.
Sacralize kills Villainies, right?
Or Sacralized, sorry, not Serialized.
It does kill Villainy. Yeah.
It kills Dark Ascension as well.
Do you
what else does
do
it
you bring in
kill?
cheap lock? I mean, you're always bringing up Golden Company tactics, right? Because that's just begging to get blown out.
It does kill Ballast Descent as well.
Oh yeah.
Chi block is
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Like
yeah.
because it's just like a lot of these cards target a lot of the hand disruption, and like if it's like
Yeah.
oh you play
Wait,
Bitter
never
Goodbye
mind.
from
Never mind.
graveyard, I would rather Chi block that.
You don't bring in cheap. I forgot that cheap block got nerfed. No, you don't bring in cheap block. So Nick.
Wait,
I think you still
Nyx
do. Like
has Wave
dealing
of
with-
Decay is a big one.
Yeah.
Not sure
I think
about the
it's-
rest of the cards.
I think it's just Wave of Decay. Hungry Cult. I don't think you're
Yeah.
trying to win with a Hungry Cult. No, I don't think this is a Hungry Cult matchup.
No,
You're
I doubt
trying
it.
to just blow up your opponent's
Yeah.
board. Yeah. But
yeah, definitely bringing in the Wave of Decays though.
yeah. But anyways, Asti,
your-
so
I mean-
what are you saying about key block?
I just think like against a deck that runs so much hand disruption, it is useful to have something against that.
It comes down
I
turn
think the
2.
problem is that the hand disruption is
Yeah.
the target opponent. So
But the way Chi block works is if you don't change the target, it still counters a spell. But yeah, being turn 2 probably too slow. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You probably just need to draw your invalidates.
You want to draw
Yeah.
your invalidate. You need to blow up their villainies, stuff like that.
it's a rough matchup. Villainy
Mhm.
versus like quote unquote creature deck.
So since the players are still boarding, so who are you rooting for here? I'm personally rooting for Chumbeque because if Nyx wins, then Nyx gets to 6 GP wins, and now they tie for me for second most GP wins.
I'm rooting for Nyx because I'm a contrarian.
What about you, Asti? How much do you care about me having untied second place for most GP wins?
I just
in the format?
hope they both have fun, really.
Wow.
It's not about the GP wins, it's about the friends we made along the way.
Exactly, you get it.
Asti,
Yeah.
you're only saying this because you never got a GP win yet.
I don't think I've won a game at a GP in like a year.
This is my
Like-
first time getting semis. And it's because I got a buy.
You do have a good point though, which is that I don't know. I've made it to the finals, I think, once. I put in my name when I did. I was so proud of myself. I put once made top X.
When was
That was
that?
probably like 2 years ago. That was so long ago. I guarantee it. It was probably like at least 2 years, probably more like 3.5, honestly.
The game has started.
All right. Let's see. So, Chumbeque starting, which is good for them because they want to be on the play and they do not get turn 1 invalidate, so that's a problem.
Bought in the Sacralize though. You can see that.
Decides to keep it.
Nyx has 4 Swamps, Double Wave, and Valdez, which is interesting. You can turn 1 Valdez and then you just have Wave of Decays up, but you don't really have card advantage.
I think they mulligan this and
Yeah.
they get a way
Yeah.
better hand.
This is
Way better hand,
way
yeah.
better.
And that's a lot of bitter
Put back
goodbyes.
1 Bitter Goodbye, and then you hand attack them on 1. You can either Wave of Decay or probably just hand attack plus Exunt on 2.
I don't see how
And
Chumbeque's
then-
getting out of this. Just seeing how the cards line
Chumbeque-
up.
Well,
Bluffing the
Nyx doesn't
Invalidate.
Nyx doesn't actually have like a
Nyx-
win in hand is the thing. It's all just interaction. So you win by just
Yeah.
drawing better, I guess.
Nyx just gets to strip 3 cards
Yeah.
from Chumbeque's hand, and Chumbeque's out of plays after
It's
that.
gonna be a top deck war. So, except Nyx has more removal, so Nyx can has more chances to top deck better, kind of. I think that's probably a terrible way of describing it, but
I mean, that is a pack. So I guess Chumbeque does get to play at instant speed compared to Nyx, so that's an advantage.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the first
So
bitter
Nyx
goodbye gets a hit on
Goodbye.
land. So
Into
Bitter goodbye.
Exunt.
You probably just exile a land here.
yeah, first one
Yeah,
isn't
you
forced
got
to
2
hit.
lands. You don't need that many. You'll draw another one. Never punish.
Yeah. And I don't think you really want to lose either of your functional cards.
Yeah. And then Nyx
Like-
just holds up Exant.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So so Raid's alarm actually plays
that's
on Exant. Pactive Moon does not.
I think yeah, but the problem is you have to decide whether you want to play into Exant or Wave of Decay, because
You're fine if you're playing waves your 1/1s, right?
true, I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's one card for one card.
And
Either
Exile's
way,
very
yeah.
goodbye. Never mind. That's actually really good. I forgot
Oh
that
yeah,
pack
true. I
has
forgot about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, it's with
Oh yeah,
goodbye.
that pack makes a lot more sense.
Carved Oasis.
Now, there's the creature land. That's pretty huge for Chumbeque.
Mm-hmm.
But Nyx's Exant
I don't think you're
could end up
comfortable.
killing that.
I mean, you're gonna raise the alarm before you starved Oasis, so you'll have creatures on board by then.
Yeah.
Wait, main phase rate? Why?
No, because of Sunrise. Because the Sunrise lands,
but
you hold
what-
up Sacralize in case Nyx goes for Villainy.
Isn't this like? Can't you just wait a turn to raise if the opponent plays Villainy or something? Because now you're just playing into Wave of Decay.
A Villainy can do a lot early on, though.
Yeah, but you just you just don't play like you just hold up all your mana. If your opponent Villainies, then you Sacralize instead of raise the alarm.
I mean, you're playing into the Wave of Decay either way, but now you animate and get exunted, and it's a top deck war, except Chumbeque has an out to some of Nyx's best top decks. So
It
fair
is
enough.
just
It has turned around quite a bit, though.
Yeah.
But Chumbeque is losing their threat.
I think the best possible top deck for Chumbeque right now is Bioluminescent Display, because that like completely wrecks Nyx in a top deck war scenario.
Yeah, agreed. Nyx just draws a land.
I mean,
So
that's
You bluff?
fine.
I think
I mean, Chumbeque's not doing much.
I think he might. I mean, if you have a 5-drop in deck,
Nyx does have a 5-drop in a deck.
Nyx does
Yeah,
have
Nyx is
token.
Perception.
Yeah.
Well, that sure does nothing.
So
Chumbeque did not board out Golden Company tactics. Interesting.
Nyx draws another land.
truly riveting gameplay here.
Chumbeque draws. Okay, Chronicles is good.
That's big. I mean,
That
that's
is a
clock.
functional.
Yes.
It's a functional card.
Let's go. We
Right.
got functional cards out here.
How much on Nyx instantly drawing Exunt?
I mean, that's still fine because Chumbeque just needs to top deck a land and then
Bound
activate
Swamp.
Chronicles.
Oh, it's Valdez. Okay, Valdez is very good, but also Nyx doesn't. Chumbeque doesn't really have much in hand, so.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Valdez is actually like a card.
Oh, that's low.
I mean, it
And
is a 4/3 menace. Like, you're
That
killing
does eat-
Chumbeque faster than Chumbeque is killing you.
That does eat the Sacralize, which is probably the best card in
Yeah.
Chumbeque's hand right now.
And Valdez comes down.
Mhm.
Yeah, now if Nyx draws a Villainy, we'll slowly but surely do things.
So actually, I think the best. So if Chumbeque tops deck a land next turn, they can just go to combat, swing with Fox, and then Nyx is forced to decide whether to block or not.
You never
I mean,
block, right?
Yeah, you never
I
block.
think you almost never block you.
Oh yeah, Valdez is outracing the Fox. Yeah. That's...
Yeah. But you can't just hold cards in hand and then they go even.
I think you kill
Fox
You can
is
blow it
Valdez.
up, yeah.
Thoughtseize bug.
Oh,
Okay, going for Ascent.
interesting play.
I don't know.
I mean, that feels like putting all your eggs in one basket, but at the same time, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you kind of have to.
I mean,
I don't know
that's
how I
what
feel
you-
about that.
No. I mean, it's not like you're gonna be able to go for Descent, and also you want that.
You
Wait
might
for
be able to
late
descend.
How
draw.
many lands has Nyx drawn? I feel like it's been 3 or 4 in a row now.
Nyx drew like 2 lands, then a Valdez, then.
So for the math people out there, does Chumbeque outrace Nyx right now with what's on board?
No.
No.
I mean, like.
Actually, yes, because in
Chumbeque-
6 turns.
Actually, no. Valdez is smaller. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, in 6 turns, Nyx is dead and Chumbeque's at 1.
Also, Sacralize just can kill Valdez anyway.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that means Sacralize is coming out here.
I guess.
Yeah, I
Don't
assume in
do anything.
response to pay up.
I feel like it would have been better to make Hooli. Like, I
Well,
guess
you
with the
wouldn't-
Fox on board, it's hard to get it.
Yeah, you need some way to kill that, and I don't think the opponent's ever going to kill that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now Chumbeque's empty-handed, which means
Mhm.
that they're dead to anything, or they're vulnerable to anything Nyx top decks.
I mean, if Nyx
Oh,
keeps
plays.
top decking bad. Okay, it's a 5-turn clock.
Chumbeque is bluffing now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean,
Ooh.
Nyx can't
Uh-oh.
activate it, so that's still.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
just.
Wait, they're holding.
it is correct.
They are holding.
I
right?
mean, you just
Yeah.
pass here, and then if you ever draw a non-creature, you
Assassin
can
of
play
Virtue.
that. It's not wrong. Oh,
Yeah,
it
that's-
draws the out immediately.
Nyx still gets one trigger off Villainy.
Oh, this
that's-
is funny.
I don't think
Assessment
that's
for
enough.
Oh,
death.
that's-
Oh, find oh. Well,
it's
I
not.
mean-
I don't. It's not enough. He can't kill the fox. I don't think.
You
I
can.
mean, he can though, right? You can because you have priority.
Yeah.
in-
So now you have to assess it now before the
Oh,
opponent
it's.
gets.
I forgot that it was 2 damage. For some reason, I thought Villainy only did 1 damage. I thought it pinged. Ugh.
Villainy. You do
yeah.
not understand the horrors that we have gone through.
I thought it was pinging, and I still thought it was
My
like
game
good.
Versus Nyx, I had 2 Cantras in hand, and Nyx milled a Cantra of Bounty off Find Happiness on turn 2, then sealed the tune to me on turn.
Okay, that's a top deck land. Chumbeque still has a chance.
Oh,
They just
okay.
need to top deck something
Come
useful
on,
here.
come back.
Come on.
Need something.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
that's not bad.
That's fine.
I mean, I
That's
guess you get rid of the
It's a
graveyard
3-3
again,
hand.
and
You do all
fine.
you do all modes because you can cycle it anyways, or you can
Yeah,
cycle
you have so much mana.
Flying Vigilance plus 4 life for 2 mana.
Oh
and
my
Nyx can pick
goodness.
Another land. Wait, how many lands does Nyx run? Like, I want to know this
Not a
now. Is it
22.
24? Is it less?
There are 20
But,
swaps in Nyx's deck, and they have drawn half of them.
Chumbeque is also running 22 lands, just so you know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
so
guess that's the new standard now, I guess. Why did I say I guess twice?
Plus, wait, you're not exiling from yard? That could matter,
No
right?
that's a
exile.
mistake.
Could it matter?
I mean, I don't think
don't-
so.
The fatigue doesn't matter, so I think you should do all 4
I mean, if you
anyways.
top deck another Chronicles, it could matter.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
don't
crazy
think-
alarm.
I don't see anything in Nyx's deck here that cares about
Are you
stuff
assuming
in
that
the
Nyx
graveyard,
spoiled
really.
out Bell's Descent?
Oh, right.
Another land!
Okay,
It's a creature at least, but another land.
I think we're going into game 3, which is not what I expected.
Nyx is
that's
actually
a
just like,
creature. That's a creature.
oh
doesn't
my
block
god.
flyers. Nyx is
It-
dead now.
That's
Yeah,
wow.
that's insane. Nyx just
Wow.
like what? that was like some of the craziest mana blood I've ever seen.
That is astonishing. I don't think I've ever seen that bad of a top deck.
Nah.
And-
Have you
Yeah.
watched the? I've commentated some games that had worse land floods before.
Like that's the thing is like in a neutral state.
I've had drawing 10 out of my 15 lands in like the top 15 like 20 cards before in Phoenix. I've had that happen.
See, that's just like in an even matchup. I feel like Nyx's average card that usually beats Chumbeque there.
Yeah.
But
Nyx is definitely favored in this matchup.
Actually, I think it entirely depends on whether the villainy comes down before the bioluminescent display.
True, being on the plate does
Wait, why did
matter
Nyx
a
bring a
lot,
Hungering
doesn't
Cult?
it?
I don't think this is a Hungering Cult matchup.
Me neither. I don't know. I guess it lets you gain life, but
Chumbeque keeps a one land. Oh wait, no, that's not one lander. Never
True.
mind.
it's still not a great hand. You don't get Chronicles on turn 1 because it's a Sunrise
You
Prairie
could
and not
top
a
deck
Plains.
You can always top deck
I
a Plains.
guess.
Nyx decides to
What?
keep this. I dislike keeping this, to be honest, but also
Okay,
Nyx is the
well,
villainy player.
Nyx
so
doesn't get punished for this.
I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if Chumbeque
Chumbeque has a slow hand.
if Chumbeque
so-
had
Okay,
Evadic
Edict
here,
is
this would have
good.
absolutely punished
Edict is
Nyx.
fine.
Yeah. I guess it has Bell's Descent, which can help clear up the board a bit, but one sack against Chumbeque's deck doesn't seem that good.
Yeah.
That's assessment of virtue. Chumbeque does need to draw their third land soon, though. Wait, they're
And that'll
You get
I
to
see.
go Chronicles,
Right.
Hold Up Assessment, or Raise the Alarm, which is nice. or
yeah.
Pact.
You have like your whole hand available still because of Sunrise Prairie.
Nyx is also starting to draw lands still.
I guess you passed Unresolved here. or
This is a
maybe
better
Edict,
hand if you
actually.
have a bunch of lands though.
A Hungering Cult
Bell's
swing.
Descent.
Yeah, because
Chumbeque is going
makes a lot of
to
your stuff higher.
Assessment on that?
Interesting. Are you like?
Interesting, yeah.
How does Chumbeque
Yeah.
know that Nyx isn't holding Villainy?
Chumbeque doesn't.
I think maybe they just read.
Pass Unresolved. Yeah.
Simply Soul Red.
Yeah,
I guess they thought that Nyx would have shotgunned it and would just like not
that's
wait for
Second
combat. I don't know.
So
You
the
making me?
fox does get blocked by a spirit. I guess. Do you want to trade here? Is the question? No, they're not trading.
Does not. You have so many cards in hand. I feel like you're trying to
This
get a big.
plays into Wave of Decay heavily too.
I
So,
think you're trying to get a Golden Company tactics
Yeah, I
off
think
on this board if you're Chumbeque.
so you could Nyx the correct play here in using the knowledge that Chump can't display this, so I think it is right to Val's this.
What? No, Chumbeque can't bioluminescent display. They don't have the mana.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
still
probably
broke.
right to Val's defend here then. But also you're playing into like Fade, which is kind of awkward, and Invalidate too. So
Okay, so Wave of Decay.
yeah, Nyx decides the way.
I think if you're next, I feel like Chumbeque isn't spending mana like they would if they're holding up a Fade or
No, they're totally spending mana like they
Counterspell.
would. Like this is how you're supposed to
Yeah,
act when you have Chronicles in the Sunrise Prairie,
you
right?
attack into the Raise the Alarm, or I guess it's Pact of the Moon that Nyx would be worried about, since that actually kills it without losing features.
You want to pack now anyways. You're trying to get packed. You're gonna raise the alarm, get like a bunch of counters on your stuff.
Stops the bounce descent too, which is pretty bad for Nyx.
Oh,
Goes in. I mean,
Yep.
you go positive here.
Actually,
I mean,
guess you
technically,
go-
the color of the spirit came from Chumbeque's card, so you go neutral. Technically,
You're going neutral, yeah.
unless I mean, how do we
You're
actually
happy.
count card advantage, anyways? Especially with virtual card advantage and stuff, because
They blew up a card. I mean, because in that sense, assessment of virtue is card negative because it's a 1-for-1 that gives your opponent something. So it's like a 1-for-2.
yeah.
Chumbeque's still stuck on lands.
I mean,
Eh,
but
I can't count.
imagine assessment of virtuing a 5-color thing.
So Nyx draws how many swaps this game?
A lot.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
Also, Bell's Ascent
That's
gets
what,
wrecked
8?
by Pact of the Moon, right?
It's
yeah.
pretty rough.
At least the backside of it does. You still get a really big guy, but
Because you have a guy, but a lot of Chumbeque's removal is still exile. So the indestructible of it doesn't really matter.
Pact instead of Raise the
There's
Alarm.
Pact of the Moon.
Interesting.
Yeah. Your opponent has so many cards in hand. Given that they're stuck on mana, they probably have stuff they're fine with discarding.
Oh wait, they're
So
trying to
I
get rid
feel
of.
like
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the flashback spell. It's sorcery though, so
Yeah.
like I feel like you should.
I
Raise
mean,
the
you might as
Alarm
well.
first. Oh, that's another.
Yeah,
Chronicles.
there's
We make good
Okay,
foxes.
lots of fun.
More notably, Chumbeque still
Pact-
hasn't drawn a land, and Nyx still hasn't drawn a non-land.
Mm.
No way. How is Nyx drawn? What is it? That's 9 lands so far. Are we gonna hit 10 lands in both games?
It's very possible.
You think at this point Chumbeque just pitches 2 Golden Company tactics?
I think you do.
What? You're pitching bioluminescent?
Display.
I mean,
I think that's a mistake.
Okay.
And now bitter
Nyx
goodbye and
does
great.
mill
and-
some good ones.
Mills 3 lands.
So.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, the
Chumbeque
magic
could-
gods are enjoying this
Oh.
one.
Fascinating. And Nyx does hit a bitter goodbye that's engraved now. It raised the alarm.
Nyx is doing pretty good.
This is why I feel
But
like
also,
Chumbeque should
Chumbeque
wait a turn
Beck
on.
has tokens.
Oh,
You find happiness. That's like a draw 4.
So Bell's going to flip, and that's going to
Yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna cast like find
I
happiness.
mean, at this point it doesn't
into
matter
whatever
because
that
you get Bell's
mills
flipped.
into.
but you're just gonna
And
draw
also Val's
more.
a 6/6.
But you're just gonna.
Val's descent flipped is yeah.
It's again like a lot of Chumbeque's removal is exile, so it's not the worst thing. Like it can still get sacralized. It can still get assessmented. It can get
Nyx is,
Acrianus's
around.
command if it attacks.
Nyx is still playing around like Sacralize the Endeavor in case Chumbeque has one of those in the Thoughtseize. Choose tactics over display. Again,
Probably
having display
wise.
face up lets
Wait, do we need to tell the players to
Interesting,
put the
decides
Golden
to
Company tactics in the
not-
correct zone? Because very goodbye exiles.
Yeah, I think you should. You should tell. You should tell
You
them
can do
that.
it. I don't want to involve myself in the judge call.
I don't remember what the rules are
Tell the
about it.
players
It's
to
been
stop
so
and then
long.
ping a judge, I think, or something. It mostly doesn't matter. Oh, is that the third Golden Company tactics before the third land?
I
That's
believe.
hilarious. If true.
Is it the? Yeah. Which would you rather have, 3 lands or 3 Golden Company tactics?
In this board state, I think the third land would be
Would you
preferable right now.
which would you rather have? 3 lands or the tactics to take them?
Mm,
Wait, Bow's Descent transforms at instant speed? Wait, what? I
it
did
doesn't
not
say
know this.
sorcerer. Mhm.
Wait,
So-
wait. Why does it not say sorcery?
Why would it? And that's Villainy
Wait,
from the
March
Bell's
has the
Descent.
same thing?
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
it. I think that's it. Villainy,
I
find
forgot.
happiness,
Man, that
Yeah.
and you can play out of your grave. I think that's it.
Yeah, this is over probably. Unless
We saw
Chumbeque,
2.
like even if Chumbeque top decks removal, like Nyx is getting so
Nyx-
much advantage here.
Nyx
did
could
Nyx just make an illegal play? Okay, at least they played in the right zone afterwards.
Yeah, undid it. So
And there's Infectious Ego. I guess it has lifelink. That's why they boarded it in.
I guess I still don't agree with boarding in big creatures against Chumbeque's deck, but I mean maybe they didn't have better options.
I think you just wave at a K, blow up the soldiers, and then just.
What did you board out though?
Who knows?
I haven't seen much.
Probably some lands.
And you still drew 10 of them. Or 9,
yeah.
sorry. Basically 10. Plus the ones you milled off
Hey.
bells are kind of draw.
It's a land!
Finally, a
We
bit too
did
late
it.
though.
We drew a land.
Definitely
Yeah,
too late.
yeah, Trumbeck's probably just dead here.
This is the one time you need a removal spell. You actually need a non-land because you need to deal with Villainy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually
Mills
need to deal
away
with
with
Battle
decay.
first. That'd probably be better for
Yeah.
you than killing Villainy.
That's true. Well, you
I
can
mean, you
exile Villainy,
Get to go cult into Infectious Ego here.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, at least Nyx isn't
Then,
getting Villainy
yeah.
triggers.
Trumbeck's just dead. Yeah, but they're still gaining 6 life and getting. Yeah, it's over.
So
Even if Chumbeck draws a removal spell, they're dead.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's only fair that Chumbeque gets screwed over after Nyx gets screwed over by land draws.
Yeah.
We got one good game
I
though.
mean,
Like
it sucks.
No, this game was pretty good too. I mean, Nyx got screwed over, but still
Was it?
won because
Chumbeck had 2 lands. That's not good.
both players got
It's simply
equally screwed
impo-
over.
Wait, is this
That's-
game 3?
Yes,
Right?
Like I said,
yeah.
but like I
Okay,
said,
good.
over the course of the match, it ends up that we only got one good game, which was the first one, and then Nyx
Wait,
gets
is Nyx-
flooded. Nyx gets flooded.
Nyx could Wave of Decay X equals 0 to get a Villainy trigger.
I was like, you have Wave of Decay in graveyard. Let them bioluminescent. You get Wave of Decay.
I mean, you have 7 mana, so you can go cult, go X. Theoretically, it's funny.
Okay, apparently Chumbeque's going for it
Okay,
now.
going to bioluminescent.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's just
Yeah.
going to get Wave of Decayed, right? So that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just wave and then you can just ego right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, wave. Yeah, Ego, and then Wave of Decay, the 2 tokens.
Hey, maybe Ego flips something good.
Maybe.
Maybe it flips.
It's gonna be a land.
Wow, you're psychic.
It's gonna be a land. That's how this game works.
The magic gods are watching.
And
Oh.
so yeah, Nyx is about to get their 6th GP wins, which means that I need to win another GP soon so that I can still
What's
maintain.
Nyx's GP win rate now? Kind of want to calculate it again.
What do you mean by win
when
rate,
was
anyways?
Nyx's first GP? I mean, you just divide the number of wins by the.
Oh, you mean
Sure.
like finals rate or entire GP win rate?
No, like win rate.
Individual game win rate or like entire
What's it
GP
like?
win rate?
No, like a GP win rate.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the
oh.
oldest GP Nyx was in.
Chumbeck drew a land. Not surprising. Which I
Oh
believe
my
wraps
God.
up this game.
Man.
Yeah, it's over.
Very funny. Hit exactly 3 lands off of the Bell's Descent.
I mean, I don't think that actually
Insane.
impacted anything at all because because of Asti, but
It
yeah,
might.
it hurt definitely.
It might have.
No,
Like there's a
Chumbeque does not have any fetching in their deck, so it had literally no effect on their draws.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I might have found it.
So yeah, what's Nyx's GP win rate then?
No, wait, never mind. I clicked on the wrong one. Never mind, we found
Uh.
it. So Nyx's first GP would be Ottawa, it looks like.
I remember that one.
Which one was that?
Yeah, GP Ottawa.
Which month was
which
that?
is February 2023, which means
Oh yeah, that one.
25, 26, 27, 28. 28 and 6 wins is a 21% win rate if notated in every single GP.
That's pretty good for
No, wait.
if
Is
it's
that
like
21% or is that 2%? No, that's 21%.
21% entire GP win rate. Okay, how's my
Yeah,
GP win rate?
21%.
like straight up.
Ricky, I don't know how many GPs you. What's your first?
It's like what? Something like what? May 2021. Okay. Also, we get
May
to see the
2021.
sideboards.
Alright.
Actually, May
people's sideboards.
2021. Yeah, May 2021 Dodger
2021.
one. Based on this, the first time was
2,
January 2022.
So if you participated in 73 GPs and won 6, that is a win rate of 8%.
That's still pretty
I
good,
mean,
I guess.
You're
That's
just
still good. Like,
you're a volume
I mean, our
shooter.
GP win rates are 0%. So.
Yeah, I never won.
Yeah.
I first submitted. I want to. The first deck I've submitted on LackyBot was in October 2020.
Okay, so the players have shown their entire decks to us, so that we can talk about sideboarding. Nick says that they boarded in Eagle and
I did not
Cult
notice.
as their anti-little dude strategy, which I kind of disagree with because like their guys are evasive enough. I feel that you'd rather just.
I
use
figured you
removal
were
to deal with
super
them.
worried about the enchants and would leave some holes in the removal plan. I feel like the problem with that kind of logic is that Sacralize exists, and Chumbeque is definitely boarding that in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise,
Also,
I see the logic.
Chumbeque boarded out their counter spells, which is the same thing they did against
Wait,
me
what?
in my games.
Wait.
Yeah, they boarded out their counter spells.
Why would you board out the counter spells?
Because I guess they figured they could just deal with everything on board, so they'd rather just like deal with things after they resolve instead of having to hold stuff up.
I definitely disagree with that.
I mean that they made the
Mhm.
same. They made the same sideboarding decisions against me when I was on ramp, and it ended up paying off for them because I was playing against costed counterspells the entire game and lost because of it. Because like if I just slammed my 3-drop on turn 2, I could have just won, but I didn't and I lost. So I'm not sure if that's like actually a good plan because like even if you board out your counter spells, your opponent's still playing around the threat of counters, right? So they still have to like play around costed counter spells, which throws
Fair.
off their curve.
Yeah, I guess. But also, like, getting to actually counter their spells is still good.
Yeah, I mean, I think against
Hello,
Nyx, though, you're
Nyx.
fine with most spells resolving, right? Because you just need to blow up their Villainies. I guess it didn't work out that time because the opponent gets one
Fair.
cast
But
before
also, like,
Villainy gets blown up.
specifically with the sideboard plan Nyx went with, you do want to counter the egos, especially in the cults.
Do you really need to? Like, you can just blow those guys up after they resolve, and they don't really do that much on resolution, right? It's just like a single
your
card.
only removal spell really is Sacralize. And Command, actually.
I think both your
Never
commands or both your modal spells do stuff to creatures, right? Like Endeavor kills stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Acreonosis
Endeavor does
only
kill
kills
stuff.
attacking. Never mind.
Honestly, I didn't even know it had that third mode.
Yeah, it really does everything,
I
doesn't
didn't
it?
know it did that. Yeah.
I personally thought less about like having specific threats and more about just having more cards than my opponent. I try to have as many 2-for-1 cards in my main deck as possible.
Yeah.
Since most of my opponent's answers are 1-for-1 and they don't have any sources of card advantage. So if I could just not die and play my own card draw spells and then flash back and play like cards like Infectious Ego and Bell's Descent that can both grant me a lot of card advantage, I'll eventually out-resource my opponent. Now that did not happen game 2. I don't know what happened game 2.
The Magic
Game
Gods.
2 was something.
Well, no, it's because
We don't talk about
the
game
Magic
2.
Gods wanted more content, so they forced the game 3.
Content.
Oh, also, Nyx, I recalculated your GP win rate. It's 21%.
Let's go.
Yeah, you're also tied with me for second most GP wins.
Oh, how many am I at?
6, right?
6.
Checks out.
Nyx, right? 6 or
Now I can't win anymore.
Yeah, please don't win anymore, so I don't have to win anymore to
done
make sure
here.
I stay in second place.
I can retire from MSEM.
How many does Dodger have? Because he's number 1, right?
No, it's not. I don't think Dodger's number 1.
Or
It's one of
who
the.
is
I'm
it?
number 1 because I've won every GP because I had
I
fun.
searched up Asti and GP win rates, and one result pops because of Toasty.
I think it's like water.
You want a GP in spirit.
It's like one of those. Basically, I think the person with the most GP wins doesn't actually play anymore. They won a lot of early GPs, which is how
It's a bunch of old GPs that probably don't show up on the archive.
Oh no, every GP shows up on the archive. It's just that nobody bothered to count them, or like you have to count it manually.
It might be Dodger because that fits the description.
I don't think it's Dodger.
Dodger has 6 wins on the archive page.
Wait, where on the archive does it show the number of GP wins?
You just have to if you control
F their name.
Oh, I have to do it manually. Okay, sure.
They won every other
Control F their
GP.
name.
They won every
Yeah,
other
they
GP
just
from
won every
September
other GP
2020
from
to July 2021, and then dipped. No more.
Wait, let me RickyRister.
What was Dodger playing? I want to look at these deck lists.
Okay, wait, never mind. Actually, Dodger, me, and Nix are both tied at 6 wins now. Actually, so
Whoa.
yeah.
Purple
How many does
also.
Purple
Oh no,
have?
Purple has 5.
Purple's at 5. Where's the guy with?
I'm okay with no longer winning anymore if the rest of you agree.
Unfortunately, I'm too competitive. So yeah.
Asti's gonna win eventually.
Ooh,
You
I don't know
can't
about
stop
that.
him.
Oh, you definitely can. Oh, you definitely can.
I do feel like there should be more before like November 2019.
Yeah,
No,
That
there's
was-
definitely. I found him. Don't ask why, but I I found a old archived thing, like a literal Google Doc that was like the deck lists before the deck list channel existed, and it dates back to 2017.
God,
So at least League was going from 2017.
not really sure what to promo at this point. Most of this deck has already been promoted.
I mean that's good, right? It's just like with me and Ramp, where I'm slowly promoting the entire deck, just building out the entire, or totalifying the entire deck. I mean, you're trying to like HSR fight the entire deck, right?
Not really. I'm just whatever the mood strikes, I'll just pick a card. Not like there's no real.
Do you have any idea of what you're promoting?
Dark Ascension, because it did
Great.
nothing.
Oh, Dark Ascension has done absolutely nothing in every single match. I don't think I've cast it maybe one time so far.
Yeah, I saw it in one game.
Dark Ascension is a little bit of a fraud. I'm not gonna lie. Its
You could
ability
promo
to
Bitter Goodbye.
win the game isn't very like Dark Ascension. The trigger is so weak that you aren't actually getting that much of an advantage even by casting a bunch of black spells.
It's even
The issue with Bitter Goodbye is that I know that Bitter Goodbye is being nerfed.
Yeah, it's definitely getting nerfed.
I would like to hit Seal the Tomb if they'll
Ooh.
let me, despite not technically not being main deck. It was incredibly pivotal to the. Oh, it was against Aangineer. Yeah, you're right here. To my matchup against Aangineer. It was probably my hardest matchup throughout the
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Both of those seals. I had they sniped at least 2 cards from my hand, both of them.
Yep. You know a deck is fair and balanced. If you don't exile their win con from their deck on turn 3, you lose the game.
What do you mean Kentra is fair and balanced? It's great.
I don't think we've actually gotten Contra on
I think
camera.
we should not touch it at all.
Yeah, we never got it on camera, so obviously we don't actually know what it does.
It's so scary.
It's
My games against Nick they were something.
Wait, did
I wish I could have recorded them, but
Anyway, I'll see y'all next week.
Hmm.
GG's.